Hi there, it's Noah. Welcome to my Shanxi series. In many of the old temples, I found somehow they share a similar, peculiar landscape pattern. Like you always have your temple in the center, and then on three sides you have three mountains, and in the front there's always a river. I start to wonder why. So in this episode, we're going to one of the oldest temple in China, which is called the Foguang Temple. It is regarded as the Parthenon in China, which means it's an ideal architecture model starting from the ancient times. So I guess for its Fengshui pattern, which is so deeply rooted in every aspect of Chinese culture, it should be somehow reflect this pattern, right? So let's talk about Feng Shui at first. In Chinese culture, there's two words, which is Ji and Xiong. Ji means auspicious, Xiong means the opposite side, which is inauspicious. And these two concepts really structures people's day. Like since I was really young, and we always got this tiny cute tear-off calendars. And I just got this one 2 days ago because it's 2025. No longer it has a huge number in the center which tells you the date of the day, but also at the bottom part, you can see here, there are so many words. Also in one square there's a saying which kind of activities it's advised you to do on that day and which are not advised that you should not do that. Say in this day on the January 2nd, you should do lumbering or hunting. Of course, I don't do lumberings or hunting, and then you shouldn't open your business. But Feng Shui literally means wind and water, goes way beyond daily activities. It's deeply connected to traditional architecture culture, such as where and how or even when buildings should be constructed. For example, certain land shapes or patterns are considered bad luck. In fact, the pattern we observed that in so many old temples is often described in Feng Shui term as 负阴抱阳, which means carrying the yin and embracing the yang. That is actually a quite auspicious one. So, according to this theory, this sign is called black turtle, and this side is called Qinglong. Also, black turtle is Xuanwu. Qinglong is green dragon, and on the right is Bai Hu, white tiger. So usually you have a central axis which tells you on this side usually the north, and that side is south. So you have your river on the south side, and this river is called Red Phoenix. To have a better situation, you usually have another mountain and the opposite side. At the far distance, behind this river is called Chaoshan, and behind Chaoshan you have the Anshan, another mountain. In the center, this is the place where we should build this house. It's actually the place where we call Xue. That's the place where it means the qi, the lively energy, is accumulated, and then which represent a good fortune for your house. But why? Is there any rationale behind? So tonight I've invited a special architect friend who is so good at Feng Shui, and it's my honor to have him join us. So let's welcome him. So tell me, how do you think of this Feng Shui pattern? Is it superstitious? Yes and no. I mean, I'm not sure if qi is real, but this pattern in Feng Shui really makes a lot of sense for me scientifically. Let me explain. Just come closer to look at this drawing. So say here is the Foguang Temple, which is here, right? It's a little bit dark for me here, but never mind, I can see through it. So this one is the mountain we've been talking about, 3 sides and 1 river in the front, right? So you have to understand China is in the northern hemisphere, which means it's close to Siberia. Winters are harsh, with strong winds blowing from the north, right? So by placing this small tiny temple in the center, you have 3 sides of mountain on 3 sides, so you are naturally shielded from those cold winds. Plus, it's harder for enemies to attack you from these 3 sides, so you only need to worry about which is the south. And south in the winter days can bring you warm sunlight. And everyone who visits has to come up from the lower ground, you feel in control. Exactly, and if the mountains around you have lush forests, it's even better. You know why? Because at least to say the soil underneath this place that has no chemicals, and you have plenty of wood for fuel and cooking, and the vegetation in the forest can also protect the soil from erosion and reduce the risk of landslide during the heavy rains. But wait, Foguang Temple doesn't face south, it faces west. Isn't it against Fengshui's principles? Well, nothing is absolute. Fengshui is about balancing everything, the good and the bad. In this case, the valley only offered a west facing, which is, so this is the west. But the temple's name, which is Foguang, explains everything. You know what Foguang means? Foguang means Buddha's light. In Buddhist tradition, the west symbolizes the pure land paradise. So, instead of fighting the size limitation, they embraced it. The west-facing orientation became a poetic and spiritual choice. Imagine standing on the terrace at sunset, with golden lights bridging the earthly and the divine. Beautiful, isn't it? That's amazing. So Feng Shui isn't about superstition or spirits. It's actually a way of observing and harmonizing with nature. It's about making life better by working with the environment, not against it. So even features like brackets and big roofs in Chinese architecture are tied to Feng Shui? Absolutely. The big roofs and dogong were designed to manage wind and water. The overhang roof protects the wooden structure from rain, while the brackets supports those cantilevers. Humidity can cause wood to swell, shrink, or grow mold, so it's crucial to keep the structure dry. The big roofs also provide shade, so ventilation becomes extremely important to keep the air flowing and prevent dampness inside. That's so smart. Talking about ventilation, what about the rear windows in Foguang Temple? They're not at the back but on the sides. That's not the best for ventilation, don't you think? Probably because the temple is near a cliff. After rain, the cliff will release a lot of moisture. Side windows help avoid bringing too much of that damp air inside while still allowing ventilation. And don't forget it's on a slope, right? So it helps air flow smoothly without any blockage in the front, keeping the space dry and comfortable. And also the panoramic view on the slope is just amazing. This brings me to tranquility and harmony that I can no longer feel for a long time. I know that's my favorite. Okay, now I see this feng shui pattern is not about superstition. It does help forming a beneficial environment by mitigating the natural forces, good or bad. Foguang Temple in this way with feng shui's ideology behind is the mediator between the human and our living environment, between the physical and spiritual. And all this, at last, will all together form an organic whole with the help of feng shui.